Okay, welcome to this segment of price ladder absorption, reloading and iceberging, where in this segment we're going to actually be going through identifying these levels. So identifying absorption levels, and potential areas where we can take part in some of the trades that we could be potentially putting on. Now, first and foremost, before we actually go through where we can identify these buyers and sellers, we need to actually identify, and the first thing we're going to be looking at is we need to identify the time frame. So if we identify the time frame of the trade, we can actually understand what we're looking for on the price ladder. Now, specifically, we could potentially be looking at short term, and when I say short term, it could be very short term, within a couple of minutes, seconds, or on a daily basis. When I say longer term, it's probably looking more at weeklies, monthly areas where we could potentially be finding absorption. Now, identifying these are going to be very, very different, and the skill set behind that is also very different. So what we're looking at is shorter time frame absorption. So shorter time frame areas and longer time frame areas. For the shorter time frame areas, very simply, where we could potentially find absorption or reloading is previous support and resistance. I mean, to start off with a very, very simple base, if we've seen a market, if we just put that in yellow now, if we've seen a market that's been doing this for quite some time, and we know for a fact that this level here is our support and this level here is our resistance. So we have resistance here and support here. Within these regions, there's areas where we're going to be getting absorption. So we have this potential area in here and this potential area in here where we're going to be looking for absorption slash reloading. So this could be on a 5-minute structure, it could be on a 10-minute, half-hourly, hourly, daily. Well, we'll just keep it up to the dailies for now for a shorter time frame. So everything within an intraday perspective, we could be looking for potential buyers that are going to be absorbing. So let's say, for example, the market is currently, in whatever time frame it is experiencing a small downtrend or bearish downtrend, and we get into an area where the buyers, when it gets into this area here, the buyers want to sit here passively, and as the sellers sell into the buyers here, they're willing to absorb for that next potential leg up, wherever it may do after that, but we're looking for that potential leg up. So whatever the scenario is, in a short time frame, we want to be looking at previous resistance and support, and these areas can be they could be anything from daily highs and lows. They could be potentially weekly highs and lows. Any sort of structure that we see on a profile. So if for anyone that does actually know about market profile, this is not within the scope of this course, but again, if you're looking at a market profile, so market profile extremities. Market profile extremities, and what would that potentially look like? So I mean, if we're looking at a market profile, something like this, looks something like that, where basically this is the profile. In the center here, we'd have, let's say, our value area. This is our mode or mean in here, and these are our standard deviations. So within this area here is our value area. So potentially you could be looking at absorption areas or trades where buyers are tending to absorb anything outside of the value area. So the buyers absorb here. And then in this area here, we've got sellers absorb. So that's potentially where you could look for buyers and sellers in the very, very short term. Then, if we take a quick look over at the longer term, I don't think I'll have enough space to do it on this. So what I'll actually do is I'll cut this video off right here, and I'll start in the next video. We'll just look at purely the longer time frame, because what we're going to look at is actually accumulation and distribution. And a little bit more space on this blackboard to actually go through that. So just stay tuned for the next video where I'll be going through that.